Hi everyone. So something that I deal with a lot as a trainer for myself and for my clients is meal prep. And I get a lot of questions on, what's the best way to go about it? How long is it going to take? How do I know what the macros are, the calories are? Like all these questions. And really, you're just overthinking it. So I'm going to give you the most basic way to meal prep today. Don't overdo it. You're basically looking to create a healthy habit, right? And have healthy food on hand. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You don't have to have the perfect amount of macros in every single meal, especially if you're feeding like an entire family. It just becomes really complicated and it's very time consuming, and I can see why it gets to be overwhelming for a lot of people. So basically what I want you to do is follow the 2-2 rule. So you're choosing 2 proteins, 2 carbs, 2 veggies, and 2 fats. Pick 2 things that sound good out of each category, and they become your lunch and your dinner. For example, like my dinner this week is salmon, which is my protein, broccoli, which is my veggie, a little bit of olive oil was on the broccoli when it was roasted, so that would be my fat, and then quinoa is the carb. Each of those, that just becomes a meal. That's my dinner for the entire week. Done. Lunch, you do the exact same thing, and choose things that you like and that sound good to you. Make sure that you aren't stressing about every single meal individually. Make a list of what sounds good. Keep breakfast and your snacks the exact same for the week. So find a breakfast that you like and stick with it. Do eggs and throw some veggies in there. You may like protein shakes in the morning, cottage cheese or oatmeal, things like that. Those are all great options, but you want to keep it the exact same. It becomes too complicated to worry about prepping every single meal and every single snack and changing it from day to day and having enough stock in the fridge. And especially if you have a family, that just becomes crazy. So choose the same breakfast and choose all the same snacks. So that will really help streamline your process. You really only have to worry about prepping lunch and dinner and just having the groceries for everything, right? So write out all of your meals for the entire week for everyone in your household, and then write out your full grocery list. Now, the big thing that I found is that if you cook your dinners twice a week, it really helps you out. So everyone likes to use Sunday as meal prep day. Fresh start on Monday, you have all your meals set. So on Sunday afternoon, you write out your meals, you write out your grocery list, you go grocery shopping, and then you cook for at least the first 3 days of the week. So just to give you a brief example, like my meals this week are hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. Then I'll do a protein shake because my workout's usually in the morning. I'm doing salmon and broccoli. And then I have my snacks are a cheese stick, an apple and peanut butter, protein bar, and then I'm doing stuffed peppers without a carbohydrate for dinner. Usually for me, by the end of the day, I don't need any carbs anymore. I'm kind of slowing down. And so I don't usually do carbs with dinner. If I find that I'm really tired or fatigued or worked out later than I usually do, I'll add a carbohydrate in, some brown rice, sweet potato, quinoa, something like that. But like that's a perfect example of a week of meals, and that was super easy for me. One thing I will say is to cook in bulk. Try and use the 1-pan rule. So like I did all my salmon, broccoli, some broiled tomatoes, all on 1 pan, and then just threw it in the oven, and that all cooked together. You don't want to have 100 things cooking at one time, and you don't want to run the risk of not having enough to get you through the next 3 days at least. Cook everything you have, and then worry about portioning it out after. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to get like a basic food scale on Amazon, they're not expensive, $15 or so, and you can get one that works really well. One thing that I just started using is these Fit Packer Tupperwares. So found them on Amazon. They're just a single serve container that so far seems to work really well. And I don't use one that has any of the compartments in it. I don't really mind if my food touches, and it also makes it easier so I can put any meal that I want in here and don't have to worry about it fitting. So far, these have been great. These are by Fit Packer, and I like them. And they're freezer friendly, microwavable, dishwasher safe, BPA free, all that good stuff. It just makes it so that my meal prepping's very, very fast, and you can get everything into those Tupperwares. They fit right into your fridge. It's really easy, and you can bring them with you, and they're not real bulky. I can fit numerous into like a lunchbox or something like that if I'm going to be gone for the entire day. So I use something like that, and that seems to work really well. If you like that idea, Amazon's the best way to do that, and it's great. In terms of breakfast, you want to make sure that you're being realistic about yourself with your breakfast as well. So you chose the same breakfast the entire week, but make sure you also understand if you're going to have time to cook in the morning or if you aren't. So if you're someone who hits the snooze button 15 times in the morning, you're probably not going to want to choose a breakfast that requires you to get up and cook it before you leave. Me, for example, I'm a personal trainer. There are days where I'm on the clock at 6 o'clock in the morning, and there's no way I'm going to be standing at the stove at 5:30. I know that about myself, and I'm fine with it. It's not a big deal. I do things that are pre-made for breakfast. A protein shake real quick, hard-boiled eggs, maybe like a yogurt and a piece of toast. Those things are really, really fast. They don't require a lot of work, and I can just kind of grab them and run out the door, because I know for me personally, I'm not going to be scrambling eggs at 5:30. If you think that you have more time in the morning, or you really enjoy cooking breakfast and kind of giving yourself that time to get ready before you go off to work, then that's a perfect example, right? I always prefer that you cook your breakfast rather than kind of grab and go. Then you're really taking the time to sit down and eat it. It helps you digest it a little bit more. You in general eat slower, which also sets off your satiety hormone, telling you that you're full and content and you don't overeat, right? You're much less likely to overeat if you're actually sitting and focusing on your meal, as opposed to like running around, drinking your protein shake in the car, shoving your snacks into your mouth at the desk, things like that, right? So you really want to watch that kind of stuff. So basically that's it. Write out your full meal plan for the entire week, compile your grocery list, and then create your meal prep. It shouldn't take more than 2 hours or so on a Sunday afternoon, and then re-prep your dinners again on maybe Wednesday or Thursday night. And also make sure you're planning some food, some snacks, a few meals at least for the weekend, so that you don't use the weekend as an excuse to really go crazy or order a bunch of takeout food. Don't make meal planning too stressful, and try not to overcomplicate it. It will come with time. You'll start to understand portion control more, your calories, what macros mean. All those things will come. Just focus on creating a healthy habit and having good food on hand. That's all I have for you today. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and check out the link in the description below.